Dominicana es cosa seria, yo no le entiendo.
everybody in the Diana Valarezo's art exhibition. It's my honor to introduce Diana, the Ecuadorian artist who live in Belgium, Brussels. 3 years ago, we met each other for the first time, and I presented in my house gallery her work in Nassau. And after we worked together again for the first International Painting Symposium in The Hague that we organized in June this year. And Diana participated as an Ecuadorian artist and worked in the special term that connected to the integration. And after we decided to show her new collection that already 2 years he worked in this collection, I prefer to not talk about that. I prefer Diana after explain about her new collection. Thank you for coming here, special Senor Fernando Buchelli, that the Ecuadorian ambassador that come to support us and this international event, and especially Diana. And I would like to invite him as an ambassador of the Ecuador to talk about.
Dear friends, thank you very much for coming. It's a real honor to be in this multifaceted intercultural city, Rotterdam. It's an honor to me to be with my Ecuadorian fellowship, Diana Valarezo. It's the second time he has presented in the last year his excellent works. The last time was also here in Rotterdam. This is an international city. I'm from The Hague. We came from Ecuador. There are some people coming from different cities and get together now. Ecuador, Madame of the galleries from Iran, and with you, especially people from Netherlands. Special thanks also to my colleague, Madame Isabel Albornoz, Mr. Nelson Torres, who are coming a long way from Brussels, also to support our dear Ecuadorian. Thank you very much to making the long trip. And as you know, I want to inform you, we just reopened our embassy in Den Haag last month. And maybe we have three main objectives. The first one is, of course, to strengthen the relationship between Ecuador and Netherlands, especially in the economic and financial matters. It's very important for us. Second, we want to, with Netherlands, to improve cooperation, especially talking about, we want to share, we want to learn about technology, especially in terms of food. You know, Netherlands is the second biggest producer of food in the world. And Ecuador has a lot to offer to the world. We want to exchange. But the third goal of us, and the most important, is promote culture. There is a very famous Ecuadorian gentleman, Benjamin Carrion, distinguished writer, who says that Ecuador, because its capacities cannot be economic power or military power, we don't want to do, even if we have the chance, but our country, by sure, could be a cultural power. And culture is a bridge to get together cultures. In this case, the culture from your country, Netherlands, and the culture from Ecuador. And now, in this time, the bridge is the lady from Iran. Why we want to promote culture? Because it shows what is Ecuadorian people. You could feel when you enter, there is an interesting work of Madame Valarezo, a composition about guavas. Guavas is a fruit growing in Ecuador, and in Colombia also we were talking. And you have to peel, and there is inside something white and with a big seed, and you have to take care, don't throw it, don't have problems with the seed. Yeah, no problem. And also Diana wants to read something about Ecuador, because these plants in Ecuador, you know, our countries we are located in the middle of the world. That's the reason we take the name. We have 4 natural regions, from the highlands going to the Amazon region. We have the coast, and of course we have the very well-known Galapagos Islands. And in each part you have different food, different plants, and of course you have different people that live together in harmony. And artists also shows Ecuador life. Artists, in the case of Diana, shows memories. She was telling me before here, the paintings in the entrance, also here the flowers, the shells, and also in this marvelous video, also some memories about her. And because she's from Ecuador, she's showing in some way what is Ecuador offering. That's the reason for me it's an honor to be here to congratulate both. And now let me tell a little bit about, of course, about Diana. Diana is an artist. She was born in Guayaquil. Guayaquil is the main port of Ecuador. It's the biggest city. And illustrate in her paintings, please have a carefully eye, and drawing and sculpture and installation, her reflection on memories as an inner travel. Her source of inspirations coincides with the return of the geographical landscape of her childhood. Madame Valarezo has presented his art in many places in the world. I don't want to mention, but she has been, of course, in Ecuador many times, in China, Peru, Ecuador. She was awarded with prizes in Peru and Ecuador. Additionally, Diana has been involved in art educational projects in Myanmar, China, and Ecuador. And she's also some kind of activist in the migration process because, you know, at the end, all humankind, in some part we are migrants. We are here, we move for different reasons, and the most important is try to take the best part of migration is to build together with the other people and show respect and try to learn and show your culture. And everybody for you is watch the artist's work and give your opinion, and the artist is going to comment about us. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Senor Buchelli. That was really my honor. Usually I participate in the speech of the government from different countries, and actually it was maybe the first time I feel really good as an artist. I'm proud about the time that I live in Ecuador, because really Ecuador is the kind of surreal, peaceful country that I have ever met in my life, and the people are very nice, and also the weather and the region, because the city that I was living in, Quito, is just necessary. You drive 2 hours, you will be in the snowy mountain, and if you drive more in 4 hours, you will be in Costa, in Mar, and if you do it more, you have the Mitad del Mundo with the kind of desert. So it's really nice country. Thank you, Diana, for presenting your artwork here that I wanted to do. Actually, the ambassador did that. I want to introduce you. And the other things that is very important for me, because first let's talk about this place, because before I had my gallery in Bali, Nassau, and after I decided to grow my network and move the gallery, we did the symposium in The Hague, and during the work for the symposium I met Samir. Samir is the director of the foundation Pages bookstore cafe, that he's from Syria, and yeah. He's also very special cultural man. He doesn't like I say good things about him, but he's really good person. He helped me too much in the case of art and handling the gallery here, and I just asked him if I can do my gallery and my art presentation here. He accepted without any condition, and I appreciate that. And for me also it's very interesting because I am from Iran and Samir is from Syria. Both we are immigrant here with different reasons. And Diana is from Ecuador. And also the immigration is one of the most important themes that I am working on that during I left Iran 9 years ago. We have a lot of plan in this case, but I prefer to give microphone to my friend, colleague, and also the part of our future in the gallery, Damon Golriz, to talk about that.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mitra. Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for your words. And actually you did the hard part by introducing Diana in a way that I don't need to do as you did. Thank you for being here. I will try to put the words of the ambassador in a more larger part. My name is Damon Golriz. I'm a lecturer at the Hague University of Applied Sciences. And I'm working together with Mythra to upgrade the gallery in another way than maybe it was before. I was talking with Diana while looking at your beautiful art, and it came up to me that it's, in short, you could say it's a reflection on memory. What does it mean? It has, to me, it has two pillars. One is the remembrance. Probably for those who are not very religious, your memories and the remembrance of what happens in your life is one of the most important parts. And probably for artists like you, I'm not one of them, unfortunately, it's an important source of inspiration. And I also saw the inner travel. If you combine both, then you could see that some kind of a search for identity, search for identity will unveil itself to you, and that's exactly what's happening when I looked at these art pieces. And you were talking about not having a root because of this immigration. I wrote down the places. We are in Rotterdam in the Netherlands, but in a German institution. At the same time, you're from Ecuador with the roots in China. You have been to Senegal, in Africa, and then Peru, and Myanmar, Netherlands, Syria, Iran, where I come from also, was born, and you live in Belgium. So it's quite an international, and it's quite an inner travel, you could say. And our world has become a global place. I know that's political things. Just leave that. Yes, I think I told them. One of the pieces that took my attention was this branch on the piano. It looks like bones, and probably it's like an anchor for you, that it's made the connections, in that sense for me, to being a human and having these memories. So, let me see. In this complex 21st century, where everything is interconnected, we are interconnected. We are living in a place where people on their phones, like myself, as I did a few minutes ago, are living somewhere between the reality and the virtual world. In this complex world, how do we solve big problems of humanity? It seems that the solution can be found in abstract ideas, universal values, I will explain what it means, in probably beauty and compassion. But how do we do that? Abstract ideas, universal values, beauty and compassion. But how could we do that to give a solution to the world's complexity and challenges in this interconnected, multiple complex world? It's probably one of the solutions could be to create a synergy, an interaction, an integration of these abstract ideas. What does it mean, abstract ideas? Think about imagination. As I guess it was Einstein who said, imagination is more important than knowledge. And that's exactly what an artist does. Universal values. What would be the universal value that will connect all the people together? It's probably peace, isn't it? I think that's a very important universal value. Beauty, art, compassion. Compassion is nothing else than love. So we could, let's say, just try to find out a way to gather that in a compound, in a composition. and make a synergy of that. How do we do that? How do we make a synergy of these elements? Through language. Which language? Is it English? Is it Dutch? Is it German? Is it Spanish? Is it Persian? Is it Arabic? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's the language of dialogue. It's the language of dialogue. Because if you continue having a dialogue, as people are doing in The Hague, then you don't fight. Then peace is there, beauty involves, and compassion starts to grow. How do we do that more concretely? And that's the future plan we have. It's The Hague Center for Peace and Justice. The Hague as the capital of peace, justice, and freedom. The Hague Center for Peace and Justice through art and dialogue. Don't make it like a rigged name, because probably we're going to change it, I'm not sure, but that's an idea. To start an institution to start with, hopefully it will be an international institution, but to start with an institution for the Middle East and North Africa, where people start to have a dialogue for a more universal values through art. As Gustav Jung, one of my favorite thinkers, said, it's the inner travel, it's the inner message that is on the foot, on the root of this iceberg that you need to change the world. So we have big plans. Well, we're going to start very small and very brief by this kind of galleries, and to start having a dialogue. So I hope this will be an idea for you to support us in the future and our future plans. Probably we'll have a launching time, I'm not sure where. And Mr. Ambassador, please have our be one of our I would say advisors, and to start this foundation. Thank you very much for your time. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm little. Okay. Okay. Thank you to everybody for coming, and I'm very emotional today because I have the happiness to have my sister over there. My husband, he really supports me. My brother-in-law, that is also here, and all lovely friends that have supported me in many, many ways. And this is an homage, this work, this series of memory beings. For me, the sea is very important. It's my remembrance of childhood, when we were having holidays with my dad. That last year was his 30th year. He passed away, and he was for me the one who inserted in my life the seed of traveling. He was very curious, and he built for me when I was a child in the house of in the country house. He made a swing for me in a guava tree. So in this guava, that guava for me is like, and I did it the first one, like 30 guavas honoring his death. And also because this fruit is very strange. It looks strange from outside, it's almost like a snake. But when you open it, it's like you have like this beautiful jewelry that is white cotton thing. And when you eat it, it's just like, it's so sweet and marvelous. And the seed is so big that you have to be careful. But anyways, like in this swing that he built for me, I started to fly. I started to travel. And I was 5 years old. And it was like my first fly away. And so remember, last year we came back, and now I live part-time in Ecuador and part-time in Brussels. And all of this memory came. I started to to work in ceramics from 2013 because, as the ambassador said, I feel rootless, completely rootless, because I've been living in China, in Ecuador, in Europe, in Africa, in here. And for me, this wave of changing and embracing and letting go things, it's a seed that I have in my brain. It's like, it comes, rocks me, and then let me go. And so all these memories that I have is like, it's the seed, and that's why all of these beings that you find over there is like little memories from the past. And also with the guavas, that is like this sweet and memories. And the video that I showed to you is also like this migration part that I want to share. I did a term of the garment, rasgándose las vestiduras, because come from the Greeks. They use this phrase for when you were mourning somebody. I was mourning my father, but I mourn every time that I move from place to another one. I mourn that life and the friends and everything that it is involved in the changing. I have to let it go, and I have to embrace new things. So in that movement, in your skin, you have like the trace of all of these happenings in your life. So that's why I embroidered this long dress, and I walk with it from different places. That's related in the video, and also again I let it go and embrace a new thing. So and in my case, I am an immigrant in the best of conditions, because I went the first time to study. I left my country for like a new life, and then I did many other things. And the second time, I left my country because of love. So, and even though I am an immigrant in the best conditions, it's really, really hard. So I cannot even imagine how it is to be an immigrant for economical reasons, for war, for persecution. So it's my question that I give it to you to think about it. We cannot be racist or having a xenophobia to no one, because as human beings, we are immigrants, all of us. Probably in the less scale of the other ones. Even our parents, they left behind all their life. They were living in Guayaquil. They were from Guayaquil, from the coast. And they have to leave everything and to move in Ecuador only. And it was so hard for them to leave behind all love and family, friends, and everything. It was on a small scale. But I'm a daughter. We are daughters of immigrants in a very small scale, but it was hard. So this is my way only like to share this part of me, but also to make you think on all of this process. And that's it. Enjoy. And the last and not least, I would like to thank Mitra, the ambassador, you as well, and also my really, really loving husband. ¿Dónde está el mamorcito? But anyways, I will tell him in public. Thank you so much, my love. Sí. Please enjoy.
Yeah.